Good morning, I'm Vicki Adkins.
And I'm Cheryl Jackson, and welcome to the Cheryl and Vicki Show. And first of all, before we get started, we just want to take a moment and thank all of the viewers. We've been reading your emails. We've been seeing you sign up for our newsletters. And most importantly, we see you following us on social media. So continue in that. We're so grateful that our show is really taking off in this beautiful city.
It is, and it's so exciting. And I can't wait to meet all these guests that are going to be coming on.
And we're going to have some great guests, because I heard that the one and only stylist, Jay Boland, saw you at the store. Tell me about that.
He did. I happened to be shopping at Neiman's, and he says, "Hey, wait, are you Vicki Adkins?" And I go, "What? Wait, what?"
Did that surprise you?
Yes, it did surprise me.
Kind of cool, right?
Pretty cool, yeah.
You know what else is cool that's happening right now? The total eclipse is coming. In the next week, we're going to have hundreds of thousands of people flocking to Dallas, Texas. And as a matter of fact, they say Dallas is the #1 city that people are coming to in order to see this total eclipse. We're pretty special, huh?
We are pretty special. And they're going to be flocking in. And I understand that there's going to be a problem with porta potties.
Yeah, that's crap. That's not good, right?
No pun intended.
Yeah, there is going to be a problem. But the main problem is that we just want to make sure that everybody is safe. And so we've been seeing it in the news, and we'll say it to you as well. Make sure you stay safe. If you decide to go out and see what's happening, they say you only get to see this once in a lifetime, the next 300 years. And so if you want to see it, just be safe and make sure wherever you land, there's a porta potty somewhere around you, right?
Exactly.
Now, I like talking to you, and we talk this small talk. And so I have a question for you, Vicki. This has just been, if you were given this box, and it was a very, very beautiful box, and when you open it up, it had one question on the inside, and that question said, if you could recover anything that you had lost, what would you be looking for in this box? I know it's a tough question, but
there'd be a couple things I'd be looking for in that box, Cheryl. First, on the physical, I'd be looking for my son.
Oh, wow. That's deep.
That is deep, but I know Brett's not in that box. So on the material, it would be an 11-carat ring, diamond ring that I didn't lose it, but it was stolen.
Oh my goodness.
So I would be looking for that.
Oh, well, if I was looking for a carat, it would be the one that was in my salad last week, not an 11-carat diamond ring. Oh, I would be devastated. Oh, I would be so devastated.
Truly. I thought I was going to drive my car to nowhere.
Right.
Anyway, just to tell my husband, But, you know, it's just a material possession that you can't replace.
Right.
I just kept praying, you know.
Where's it at?
Just like an albatross that you could bring to the top of the ocean, right from the. No, I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere. You're kidding me. I've been praying.
And thank God for it. I'm sure, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, if it was me, like you, I would be looking for my mom, and most likely I'd be looking for my mind, because sometimes I lose my mind and my keys a lot.
Yeah,
so everybody around me knows that I lose my keys an awful lot. But you know what? What I'm looking for right now is I'm looking for ways to make our viewers happy. And this month is April, is Volunteer Month, and we have an amazing show that's coming up right now. We have an amazing lady who started Minnies Food Pantry with me almost 16 years ago, Erica Simon. She's director of our client engagement and volunteerism, and she's going to come in and just kind of talk about the history of Minnies Food Pantry and like celebrate the years that we've been doing this. Like you, we're part of the community giving back, and we're just going to celebrate our 16-year anniversary. You started on my board with Minnies Food Pantry.
I did. I volunteered with you, Cheryl. I think just a 2-3 year little blip, but there was a bigger story behind volunteering and being on the board. But what a great organization to be a part of.
Thank you. And I work with some phenomenal people, so I'm excited because you'll get to hear some of the behind-the-scenes stories that maybe you've never heard before, that you can hear not from me, but from somebody on the side of me saying, wow, this happened. And I can't wait to share it with you. If you're a volunteer, we want to take a moment and say thank you so much for giving your time and efforts to whatever organization that you support. And please stick around so you can hear the amazing stories of Minnies Food Pantry as we celebrate 16 years of serving this community. Don't go anywhere. Get your cereal, get your spoon, and get your milk, and we'll be right back.
CW33 wants to save you money by providing exclusive discounts from the best places in town. Go to CW33.com/discounts to get deals and savings from recognized retailers around DFW. Get real savings on entertainment, beauty services, food, fashion, and a ton of other always fun items and activities. Get a few bucks in savings, get great value, but most of all, get them before they're gone. CW33's deals and discounts exclusively at CW33.com.
The important thing is we love each other now.
This hug would mean more if you stopped chewing.
Mom, weekdays at 4:30 on CW33.
Attaboy. Now, look at my face. Tell me what you see. They're old. It's a good thing I love you.
Young Sheldon, weekdays at 5 on CW33.
Welcome back to the Cheryl and Vicki Show, where today I'm excited that we are together, both of you, celebrating 16 years of Minnie's Food Pantry. And today we have a special guest, Erica. Welcome.
Welcome. So glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you here, Erica. We've been together for 16 years. It's a long
time.
It's a long time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What's it been like over the last 16 years? If I were to ask you, what have you seen change in terms of hunger, what would your response be?
From our humble beginnings of serving in a 500 square feet facility, high-fiving when we served 5 families. It was like, we're making a difference.
Yes.
We were, and just to see how it's grown over the last couple of years, where we are feeding close to 5,000 to 6,000 families a month. That's powerful. Very impactful.
Do you remember the times where when we started, we didn't have protein was peanut butter, right? And then what was the next protein?
Tuna.
You're right. All right. You're right.
I remember that.
Yeah, tuna.
Yeah.
I mean, we had it down pat. Tuna casserole, tuna sandwiches,
Anything that you could make that was tuna.
Exactly.
That's what we had. And then when we would get meat in, Sister V, it was just like we'd only give them one piece of meat, and we would literally cry because now they got a peanut butter, they got tuna. And they got
and they have
real meat.
They have options.
Yeah, they have
options. They have options.
Absolutely.
What do you think the success has been for the Minnie's Food Pantry brand? What's made us different from everybody else?
Whenever you had the vision to start Minnie's Food Pantry, one of the things that you taught me is to serve everyone like you would serve the person that you love the most, right? So as people walk through the doors or come through our lines or just be in our presence, we not only just gave them hope, we wanted to make sure that they left with their dignity, with their pride, and of course, nutritious food to feed their families. So we have, instilled that from day one. It's just to see all of our volunteers having that instilled with them as they come through our doors to serve families. That's what impacts me the most. It's like people are leaving out with that.
Yeah, and when you talk about day one, a lot of people don't know this, but it was myself and Erica, your husband, my husband, my aunties, my mom.
Yeah.
Tell them about us getting in our cars.
Getting in our cars. And I'm not talking about these big fancy SUVs that y'all have now. I'm talking about little Honda Accords, trucks or whatever it may be. And we're driving down to Dallas to, get food that we could bring up and feed our families here in Plano. Yeah. And this is like multiple trips.
Yes.
And as we started, Cheryl's voice, she does have that voice. She's a hunger advocate, for not just our community, but nationwide.
Yes, she is.
Just going out and talking to the different stores, and so now, we get to pick up from this store, and I'm like, okay, you go pick up in your car, you pick up in your car.
Yeah, that's how it is.
But we did it, exactly. It was divide and conquer, and we did that.
So I know that you have a lot of stories that are near and dear to your heart. Can you share one that you reminisce, a fond memory in the past 16 years that you would like to share with our guests?
I have so many stories. Oh my goodness.
Anything stand out?
I think the one that stands out the most to me is
see this.
It's the sign.
The sign?
These, So I don't know what Cheryl was thinking to put me in charge of paying the bills and finances, but that's not my forte. And so we actually were, if we wrote a check for $100 to pay the light bill, we were happy because we just not have the money coming in, right? but we did have the heart to serve others. And so I remember Cheryl went out, of course, to, you know, talk to a group about Minnie's Food Pantry. And this group of kids came in. And they had did a drive that we didn't know what was happening. That's the thing, you know, God's always working in the background.
Yes.
And you don't know what he's going to bring to you when you need it the most. And we needed that the most. This was our first building, first facility. And
rent was due.
Rent was due.
And I didn't come to work that day.
She didn't come to work that day. And I called Cheryl and I said, you need to come in. She was like, no, Erica, because she would, she would hide a lot of this stuff from me. Yeah. She's like, no, you know, I'm working on this. I was like, you can work on it from the office. I said, but you need to come in. Literally, when she walks through the doors, these kids had this banner made up, and they had raised, I think it was like
$1,325.
And our rent was
$1,300.
So Cheryl walks. She walks through the doors. These kids are holding up the banner, and she just like fell out. She was like, oh my goodness. And she was like, and I was like, you see, there is a God that, you know, that sits high and look low and see what we're doing, see how we're feeding the community, how we're giving back, and he's not going to leave us stranded.
And that sign said, when I was hungry, you fed me.
Yep.
And they started in September, and we needed the rent in November.
That's right.
And it was like God knew that we would need this rent when they started it. And so they gave me the check, and we were able to pay rent for that month.
And it was just so powerful because how the kids raised the money is because they had little M&M jars, these little plastic M&M things in the containers, and they filled it with quarters, right?
They raised thousands.
And that's like the power of volunteering, a voice, or just giving back. They took something small things, and look how it made such a big impact to us. And so now I look for a sign in everything. It's that sign for us to keep going and keep moving.
Yes,
and we find them.
Speaking of volunteering, how do you become a volunteer, and what age do you get to start?
Well, our volunteer opportunities, you just go to minniesfoodpantry.org, or email volunteer@minniesfoodpantry. Volunteer Minnies Food Pantry, that's my email address, .org, I don't even remember it. And we could give you more information coming up soon.
Yeah, and coming up next, we're actually going to have two of our volunteers from Minnies Food Pantry, Brandon and Tracy Cherry, who's been with us for a long time.
Yes.
And they're going to share their story about how one can give back, even as an individual or as a family. So stick around, because maybe you'll come too.
North Texas is a melting pot of culture, and the Metroplex is filled with fun.
Like line dancing at the stockyards.
Yeehaw!
Checking out the shops in Sundance Square.
Getting a sweet treat from Andy's in Clyde Warren Park. Or enjoying the beautiful murals of Bishop Arts. There is so much to see and do around the Metroplex, and we're taking you with us to explore everything that's fresh, unique, and new in DFW.
Inside DFW and fun on the run. Weekdays on CW33. Always fun.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
LLS provided immediate financial support that helped me keep my business going through treatment.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
Please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
Donors Choose. Support a classroom.
Build a future.
At DonorsChoose.org, we want students in every community to have the tools they need for a great education. And now, more than ever, students and teachers need your help. Every year, most public school teachers spend nearly $500 of their own money on student supplies. Let's do the math. That comes out to over $1.2 billion. We can do better. Here's how. Go to DonorsChoose.org, find a request to support, and we'll make sure they get exactly what they need. Choose from books to computers, from art supplies to robotics kits. There are microscopes, musical instruments, and so much more. You'll receive thank you letters and photos from students and teachers, and a report of how every dollar was spent. To learn more and find a teacher's request in your community, visit DonorsChoose.org.
Donors Choose. Support a classroom.
Build a future.
Welcome back to the Cheryl and Vicki Show. Today has been a very special episode because we're celebrating the 16-year history of an organization that I founded that many of you know called Minnies Food Pantry. And we've had my friend Erica Simon here that also works with us and works with our volunteers every single day. And for the last 16 years, she's had the pleasure of meeting so many different people. And April is National Volunteer Month. So as we celebrate that, we asked Erica who we should bring to the set and talk about their importance of being a part of Minnies Food Pantry. Erica, who did you bring?
I brought no other than the dynamic duo. You know, you have a lifetime of finding people, but these two people here, this couple, power dynamic, Brandon and Tracy Cherry, they are the cherry on top.
So. Oh, that's so awesome.
Welcome to Cheryl and Vicki Show.
Welcome. We're glad that you're here. And how important is it to have people that are dedicated as opposed to just volunteering?
Speak to that.
Dedicated volunteers like Brandon and Tracy, they not only came and showed up and brought their kids to start and volunteering at Minnies Food Pantry, and I mean brought them faithfully. Wow. They showed up and served as a family. And as years went on and on, guess what? They are now head of our Legacy Day initiative.
Wow. That's excellent.
Tell us about that, Tracy.
So Legacy Day is something that we really love. It started with everyone that would volunteer would bring their kiddos, and I would volunteer to stay in a room with them. We'd sort candy, make bags, color some great things, and it turned into a thing. Cheryl said, I want to have a kids' day, and it started with her granddaughter Camille, and this is how we ended up. So now we're Legacy Day. We were once a quarter, but after COVID, we're like, we need to be once a month, so we bring kids in once a month.
Oh, that's excellent. And how young does a child can they be to start volunteering?
So with our Legacy Day initiative, and what Tracy was explaining is our Camille's Kids bag. So they put together little snack bags that we give out to the families that come through with kids in the car. We give them their own special snack, and I mean like snacks like our kids would eat, like granola bars, Rice Krispie treats, whatever it is may be. We did have another name for it, but then he came in.
That's right.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it started off as Happy Meals because I wanted every kid to be happy. And then this man named Ronald McDonald decided to volunteer at Minnies one day, and we're like, every kid gets a Happy Meal, and he's like, no, they don't. That's McDonald's, right? And so we had them rename it. And Camille's Kids is really named after my granddaughter, who I didn't literally give her the name, but when you sound the name out, it's every kid should see a meal, C-A-M-I-L-L-E.
Yes.
So it's Camille's Kids, and so we've given out tens of thousands of Camille's Kids bags throughout the community. And what we love about it is that kids ask their parents to come to Minnies Food Pantry just to get a Camille's Kids bag, not understanding that these parents are literally coming to a food pantry for one. And so that's one of the very things that I love that makes Legacy Day special. And what I also love about it, though, is because it was my mother taught me. The reason I do Minnies or started it was because I saw something in my mother who taught me how to give back. And I said, well, what would life be like if we continued the same legacy? And so we were doing it all the time. Myself and Eric and my staff were doing it. And then we were like, who could champion this? And little did we know, we had the champions right up underneath our own eyes. And when Tracy, she started coming, and Tracy, I mean, talk about your kids. You and your husband, Brandon, y'all have been just phenomenal partners with Minnies Food Pantry. If you walk into Minnies, all the shelving that you see, Brandon, when we talk about people being a voice and volunteerism, some people say, well, I just don't have the time to volunteer. But you have time, you have talent, you have treasure, and you have your voice. And your voice has really, really helped Minnies all throughout the years. From us, when Erica, earlier when we were talking about us having to literally pick up our own boxes, Vicki, and put them in our cars, to Brandon saying, let me go and see if I can get you a pallet jack. Let me see if I can get you a forklift. And then when you walk, even to this day, when you walk into Minnies, the Tracy and Brandon legacy is there, because all of the food that's on our shelves came because Brandon is the one who got us the shelves in our new building.
Yes.
And so as the founder of Minnie's Food Pantry, I can't say thank you enough, and my staff, we can't say thank you and Tracy enough for just embracing this place called Minnie's, and not only embracing it, but you didn't just stop there. You brought your own children, and how old when they came?
Kate was 2, I think, when Brandon started volunteering. And then it just kind of became a thing. Kids weren't really invited, but our kids, Cheryl would always say, I could give one of your kids the keys and they would know how to run the day. So it became tradition for us to bring them on Saturdays. And our family knew, hey, we're getting up at 6 in the morning and you're going to do this. And I think it's great for them. I love volunteering. Anytime you see in this world where a child can get outside of themselves and feel proud of the work that they're doing, and it just goes so far after COVID with mental health and just being proud and being a part of your community. We're so happy to be here.
And your son just recently went off to college, right?
We have another one heading to college.
We have another one heading too.
But they came through Minnie's, and you know, one of the things, Vicki, that I love is that when we were doing our trips back and forth to Houston and we were driving
Boots on the ground.
Right, it was called Boots on the
Remember
Ground.
that.
And Tracy and Brandon, we were leaving at 4 o'clock in the morning, driving from here all the way to Houston, Texas every morning. But they brought their children and they rode in the cars with me, and Brandon drove me. I mean, when I tell you committed, we can't say, when we talk about volunteerism. It gives me chills too, but when we talk about celebrating, exactly. When you talk about celebrating volunteerism, you know, you guys should be the poster child for what and who a volunteer is. You really should be.
You should.
Right.
We applaud your efforts.
Thank you.
And just it's inspiring, and hopefully our viewers will say, you know what, I need to get my kid involved, because you have to get outside of your own. That's right. It's all about me. I used to say to my kids, do you think God created you to come in and take up space and consume all you can?
Yes, very true. And when you talk about leaving a legacy, our children are now volunteering for their own organizations. And so I think that's fun to see. They still volunteer for Minnie's, but they also do their own thing. And just watching them and leaving that legacy that they really want to serve others is important.
Well, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
And before we go, though, we reached out to some of our people over at the House of Representatives, and we asked them to give you something on behalf of Minnie's Food Pantry to commemorate our gratitude for all that you've done. And we want to present you with this huge proclamation from the House of Representatives on behalf of Minnie's Food Pantry and our entire team, and also a flag that they flew in honor of you and your family for volunteering.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say thank you so
Very
much to both of you for being a voice at Minnie's Food Pantry. And we want to challenge you, those of you out there who haven't decided that you want to volunteer, maybe you can just donate. And coming up, we're going to talk about an event that's happening that you can donate to. You have an event coming up in May.
Yes.
So there's all kind of ways that you can give your time, your talent, and your treasures. So when we come back, Vicki and I are going to talk about a huge event that's coming up in May that you can be a part of and change somebody's life. Thank you so much. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Listen, life can be messy. Your mother says, I don't think I'm your mom.
Yes.
Wow. But that's what I do. You gotta calm down. I had to go through it, and I can help you get through it. Let me just give you a hug. It's why we bring it out and sort it out. Now that's the boundary! We dig in. 65 interactions, sexual in nature, and get to the truth.
You chose a man over your family.
And this season is about to get a whole lot messier.
Karamo, weekdays at noon on CW33. CW33 delivers daytime drama as easy as 1, 2, 3.
That sounds like a Jerry Springer show.
At 1, it's Wilco's Gone Wild.
We will not have anybody spitting on anybody, I can tell you that right now.
At 2, Maury deals a blow to deadbeat dads.
You are the fun!
And at 3, it's the original Jerry World.
He speaks French to me on milk.
Almost
It's daytime drama delivered at 1, 2, and 3. Weekdays on CW33. Always fun.
CW33 wants to save you money by providing exclusive discounts from the best places in town. Go to CW33.com/discounts to get deals and savings from recognized retailers around DFW. Get real savings on entertainment, beauty services, food, fashion, and a ton of other always fun items and activities. Get a few bucks in savings, get great value, but most of all, get them before they're gone. CW33's deals and discounts exclusively at CW33.com.
If the sun's going down and you don't have a place to stay, don't just make it through the night. Make it to after 8. Make it to a warm meal, a warm shower, and a warm bed. Make it to clean clothes, a listening ear, and a group of people who get it. Make it to graduation, job interviews, trade school, college, or a career that you love. Make it to after 8 tonight so you can start dreaming about tomorrow.
Remember, girls, you decide what makes you happy, not your emotionally withholding mothers.
The Big Bang Theory, weeknights at 6 on CW33.
No! No! Oh my God! Did she get off the plane? Did she get off the plane? I got off the plane.
Friends, weeknights at 9 on CW33.
Welcome back to the Cheryl and Vicki Show. Cheryl, wouldn't you say this has been a fantastic day?
I really would. I've enjoyed talking to the guests and talking to the people that are really changing our community. And you know what? I want to say thank you. For 16 years, we've been serving this community. And you and Bill, you've been really huge supporters of Minnies Food Pantry. You were the foundation, as I tell everybody. And so sometimes people can help you through their treasures, and that's what you and Bill have done. When I started off, I just remember a lot of times, as Erica was saying, we didn't have any rent. Right. And you would help us get through those moments, right? And then when we showed Brandon and Tracy today, they talked about their time, right? So it doesn't matter what you have, we all have something. And you have an event coming up in May for the Brett Atkins Foundation. Would you tell us about it?
Yes, it's Saturday night, May 11th at the Renaissance in Plano. And we have still a few tables left and plenty of tickets, single tickets, double tickets, whatever. Just be a part. It is a night that will be epic. It's life-changing to be able to take the tragedy of losing our son, Brett, and giving scholarships to underprivileged young men and women, and seeing their dreams come to pass, going to college for the first time, some never in the history of their entire lineage, right? Right. But they're going to school, they're doing a great job, and we're making a difference. And so that night is a night that I think you want to be a part. We would love to see you there. So
yes, I know I will be. I know I will be there. So as Vicki said, please get your tickets. You can go to the BrettAtkinsFoundation.org to get your tickets. And this is the one where if you have your treasures, that's what we need. Your treasures.
Lots of treasures.
Lots of kids to college, not just one or two. And I'm so proud to be a part of what you and Bill are doing. And Bill's going to be on our show next week to talk all about that huge event. And we're going to also spotlight some of the lives that you and Bill have changed. Yes. How does that feel, Vicki?
Cheryl, it's very heartwarming. And we're really close to some of the students. And so their testimonies are just imperative to hear. And I'm just so proud of them.
So then I'll end this with the song that I really like, and it's one that if we really quoted it every single day, it'd be a very beautiful world. And it's "We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones that make a brighter day, so let's start giving." So what will you give today? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands and give back. This is Cheryl.
And I'm Vicki.
Thank you for watching the Cheryl and Vicki Show.